Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is day 16 of the January Leetcode Daily Challenge. Hit the like button and the subscribe button. Join me on Discord. Let me know what you think about today's problem. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. It's Saturday. There's a contest in about an hour. Saturday for me, maybe Sunday for you. There's a contest in about an hour, so hopefully this is a good warm-up. We'll see. Today's problem is 8:49, maximize distance to closest person. Definitely, especially these days now, you would have a mask on, I suppose. But yeah, let's say you have at least one empty seat and at least one person seating. Maximize that distance to the closest person. Okay, so you have this. Then the closest is 2. Okay. The closest person is 3 seats away. Okay. Okay. So I think this is pretty straightforward, to be honest. There are a couple of ways you can do it. I think you can actually just look at all the gaps and then do a mathematical formula, because if there's 3 spaces, and then the edge is kind of the beginning and the end. I think that should be okay. So you can just do like one pass and do count or something like that. Yeah, I guess we could do it that way. Another way of doing it is just like the same idea with prefix sum, or you want to call it dynamic programming, that's fine. And then do one for prefix, for one for suffix, and then you could see how far from the left, how far from the right, and then just take the min, right? And the min of those 2, and then the max of the min of those 2, right? So that's definitely a thing as well. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all. I think I'm going to do it the way where we just count the gaps, and then that should be good. So, so yeah, okay. So I'm just trying to think about how to handle the first case and the last case. I think we can. These things are always a little bit tricky to kind of handle. And so yeah, there's at least one empty cinema. Okay. So yeah, okay. So you can have something like, and in theory, I was thinking about like different ways of handling this, like maybe add like 20 zeros to the left, and technically that would be okay. Because, or maybe not 20, but like n, like a function of n, and it'll be okay. But that's like a little bit too wasteful if you 3x the thing. Maybe that's okay. Yeah, let's do it that way. Maybe that's a little bit funky, but no, let's just do it with if statements. I think we could do it. So yeah, so okay. So let's say So I also think there's a way you can use group by, but maybe I'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to use group by with the same idea with seats, and then now we have seats, something like this, right? And then if you do a print, just to kind of see, you should have, for example, you have 1 1, 3 zeros, 1. Okay, it doesn't really, okay, but yeah, but conceptually, right? So then now you have I guess type, and then items in seats, and then you print items, right? So I just came from outside, and I think my voice is a little bit not gonna lie, just a little bit awkward. That's weird. I think it's because I convert this to list and it's being a little bit awkward. Just do it here then. Because there are iterators, so, and once you go for an iterator, things aren't good anymore, which is why this is happening. See, there you go. But okay, and all we care about is the length of these lists, of course. But yeah, let's say we have t length of list of items, and then we group this into a new thing. And then now we can do this again. In case you're wondering how one-liners are written, though, I didn't really start out doing this wanting to do a one-liner, but yeah, actually this should be a tuple, so need an extra thingy. My voice is really, I don't know, I just came from outside, so I think my voice is a little bit awkward because it's very cold. It's actually 18 degrees Fahrenheit, which for you in Celsius is probably what, -5 or something? -6, maybe more, -7, I don't know, something like that, right? So it's very cold outside, and I think I needed to lubricate my throat a little bit first, but oh well, maybe next time. Okay, so now we can go from left to right. Right, and how do I want to do it? Okay, now I think we can add a thing without wasting too much space, right? Which is that we can add basically add an I don't know. Okay. Just sorry, friends. I'm like being really indecisive. So let's convert this to a deck. Same idea, but now we can check the first and last item very quickly, and then remove them. And then here, what I wanted to do, which is why I'm doing this. So I keep on like thinking about it in my mind about how to implement it, though the idea is not really that hard. Is that okay? Now, if the first if there's a empty seats to begin with, then we want to take at the first seat, right? So that means that if seats of 0, and we have to make sure that the length is greater. I guess the length is always greater than 0, but if length of seats is greater than 0 and seats of 0, the first element is equal to 0, that means that we start with empty seats, then the space that you have, and I guess we'll yeah, the space that you have is just this number, right, which is the number of space, meaning that, for example, the opposite of this, let's say we have this, oops, then that means that you want to take the first seat, and that's 3 seats away from the next one, right? So that's basically the idea. And also just for symmetry's sake, we'll do it this way, because we're going to we end with empty seats. And this is the same idea, but of course the last in the end instead. We want to return best at the end, and then now then now we can assume everything is in between, and there are 2 cases. There's an odd case and an even case. So if it's odd, it should be pretty straightforward, maybe. Let's say odd number is there's 3, then actually let me add some ones. If this is 3, that means that you're plus 1/2 away, right? Pretty straightforward. So yeah, for let's see, type and count in seats, best seats plus 1/2, right? That's for odd. What happens if it's even? So even is this, and of course you can take one of the middle ones, which will be 2 away, so that's actually same formula. Technically you don't need the plus 1, you just c/2, but that should be the same because 4/2 and 5/2 is the same, right? At least if you round down or truncate it. So we can kind of give it a spin. This looks okay for this one, looks okay here. Of course you can do it in another way, but I don't know, today I just feel like doing it this way. My apologies for not explaining as much. Maybe my voice will recover a little bit, but right now not so much. So I think what I want to do is just double check a few cases. At least 1 seat is occupied. Okay, fine. No, I guess that's one of the things. But oh yeah, and of course, I think I don't have a even case. Though this part, of course, you already know what you're doing, so it's just about whether that's the right answer, because in theory it will tell you that is the wrong answer. So it's a little bit cheating or whatever, but yeah. Oh no! Huh, did I mess that up? Why does this give me 2? Well, it's a good thing to get the sloppiness out of the way, but oh, I am dumb. I had this here, but I had this in my mind, but I just forgot to put it in. And unfortunately, I did not test a case where we have a string of 1s, which is why. But yeah, because I was okay. See, I was thinking about it, but then I just didn't think about it because I was like rushing it. I was thinking about the 0 cases, and I think that is one risk about doing these videos and doing it live, is that sometimes I'm thinking about how to explain it and how to reason it, and sometimes because of that I get distracted and I forget. Like in my mind I wanted to do this, but then it happens, and my bad. But let's give it again, and hopefully this time I'm actually right. But yeah, and hopefully this this knocks some silliness out of the way, and that, like, is a good sign for the future, because maybe today it'll make me more careful, because I'm like, Larry, you're doing silly things like this. So yeah. Okay, streak is 656. Let's go over the complexity really quick. The way that we do complexity is actually linear space because of this, but linear time is optimal. You have to read the input. You can do this actually without all this funky stuff. To be honest, you could just do a rolling counter, and then, which has exactly the same logic, but just a counter when you go from left to right. But I think this way is slightly less confusing, but I don't know. Or like not confusing. I was gonna say slightly less error prone, but as you can see, you can still make errors. But I don't know. I mean, if you forget to check that is an empty seat, I feel like you can write it in any way and you could just forget it. So that's a little bit silly. What did I do last time? Okay, yeah. So the last time I did the what I said, the dynamic programming / prefix something of taking it from the back, and then yeah. Cool. That's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think. Good luck on the contest later. Stay good, stay healthy, to good mental health. I'll see you later. Bye bye.